On tonight's CTV News, the Anglican Bishop of Christchurch rejects peace talks, pushing her campaign to demolish the Christchurch Cathedral. And we're back at Ellerslie along with thousands of gardening fans. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. Heritage advocates are scathing after Bishop Victoria Matthews rejected an offer of peace talks around the Christchurch Cathedral's rebuild.
It's been one of the more controversial decisions to come out of the Canterbury earthquakes. The Christchurch Cathedral, left broken after a 6.3 magnitude earthquake, its tower collapsed. The Anglican diocese claims it's too costly to repair, and the cheapest and most popular option is to build a new modern cathedral in its place. But heritage experts disagree.
Bishop Victoria Matthews has stated that she isn't running a heritage society. But I think what the bishop rather forgets is that any body that owns buildings such as Christchurch Cathedral has responsibilities.
The Historic Places Trust sent the Anglican diocese an offer of peace talks over the cathedral's demolition. But these offers have been rejected. Bishop Victoria Matthews has accused the Heritage Guardian of trying to publicly pressure the church into saving part of the cathedral. She then wrote that it was difficult to see what else there was to discuss. Her response disappointing the Great Christchurch Buildings Trust.
That letter to the Historic Places Trust was breathtaking in its arrogance. It's as though a reputable organisation and institution like the Historic Places Trust is to be dismissed with the wave of a bishop's hand.
The New Zealand Historic Places Trust was hoping for a compromise, perhaps partial retention, but that's looking unlikely.
And the goodwill that was being offered to the church has been thrown out the window, torn to shreds.
Various offers of help to rebuild the cathedral have poured in over the last 2.5 years, but all have been rejected. The demolition first started in March 2012, but due to legal battles it was soon put to a halt. It's only because of Jim Anderton's fight that it's still standing.
The Cathedral Trust that the Bishop chairs wanted a steel ball put through it, and it brought down then, 2.5 years ago. So the fact that it's still standing is because of the fight that's been put up. Otherwise we wouldn't have anything to talk about. The building would be levelled by now.
The bishop said that since 2012 the church trustees have been open with their concerns over any attempted retention of the building. Heritage experts are horrified the demolition could soon resume.
I find it almost inconceivable that the Anglican Church in Christchurch could be contemplating the demolition of that particular building.
The Great Christchurch Buildings Trust and the Church Property Trust are still locked in legal battles. Until they're complete, the cathedral will stay looking like this, neither repaired nor demolished. A poignant reminder of one day 3 years ago when the ground shook. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Thanks to a Christchurch City Councillor, community groups won't be losing out when the 2014-2015 annual plan budget becomes final.
Until now, the council's been proposing to reduce the $7.2 million budget for community grants this year by $390,000. But a special meeting saw City Councillor Pauline Cotter pushing to have that changed. The Christchurch Press has reported that Cotter wasn't comfortable with reducing the level of funding for community grants. She wanted the budget rejigged to make sure community groups weren't losing out. Councillor Phil Clearwater backed up Councillor Cotter. He says community groups were already struggling and now is not the time to make the cuts. But Finance Committee Chairman Councillor Raf Manji was disappointed with the last-minute bid to change the budget, accusing the other councillors of wasting time. Councillor Goff supported Councillor Manji, calling changing the budget now financial lunacy. But he was outvoted 7-5 and the community boards will continue receiving the same amount of funding this year. The expected increased dividend from Christchurch City Holdings would cover the extra $390,000 cost, so there would be no impact on rates, which are already increasing by 6.5% from the 1st of July. But a rates remission will be offered to people who can't live in their homes for the risk of rockfall or cliff collapse. People leaving their homes due to earthquake damage will also be offered a similar deal, where they will only have to pay rates on the value of their land until they can live in their home again. The draft annual plan will be released for public consultation this March.
It was only relaunched last year, but the operators of Christchurch's Heritage Tramway want the City Council to stump up $1.2 million to repair the full 8-loop track through the central city.
The council has already committed to completing the loop of track running from New Regent Street to Cashel Mall. But as reported in the Christchurch Press, Michael Esposito wants the City Council to complete a section of the loop behind the cathedral. Esposito is the owner of the city's trams. Yesterday he appeared in front of the City Council's Environment Committee asking for $1.2 million of funding to complete the track. An influx of visitors is expected for next year's Cricket World Cup and the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The national Kapahaka champs will also bring in visitors, so Esposito needs the track completed as soon as possible. The Council's Environment Committee Chairman, Councillor Phil Clearwater, says the committee can't agree to completing the loop, but the Council could consider the company's request during its annual plan deliberations.
The city has been invaded by students. Orientation Week is underway at the University of Canterbury, but how's their behaviour?
Thousands of students are flocking into Christchurch this week to begin their tertiary studies.
Huge week for us and for the students.
Events are taking place over the next week for the students. The UCSA recognises the behaviour of the students in the past. Creating intoxication zones for students who have had too much to drink has been part of their changes.
A couple of changes we made in regard to some of the feedback we had from last year's events was that we made our medical tents a bit bigger with the advice from St John's.
Last year's antics meant a temporary liquor ban was put in place in the Island to Upper Riccarton area. But advocates for residents in the area has meant the liquor ban has become permanent over the past year. And the police are sticking by their ban.
The Students' Association have put a lot of time and effort into the planning, and it's borne out with pretty good, well-run events. As far as the liquor ban side of things is concerned, it's okay, but it could be better.
But the message from the police is clear.
If you're going to have a beer before you come to the event, that's fine. Don't go swanning along the street with a bottle in your hand or tucked down your pants.
Police are working in association with the university, with their Good One website, allowing students to register their party, a way of the police to monitor it before it gets out of control. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Aoraki Polytechnic is once again in trouble, with more staff losing their jobs and over $2 million in deficit.
This latest news spells another year of hardship for Aoraki Polytechnic, with the institute not making the student quota and the deficit falling to over $2.3 million. This year, 3 courses have been scrapped due to the lack of students enrolling, which include the media communications, television production and the sports and fitness courses. The deficit came when the institution only had 1,287 students enrolled and did not make its target of 1,767, which they required. Another 6 teachers will be made redundant on top of the 24 who lost their jobs earlier this year. The CEO blames a strong labour market for the downfall.
Crowds of people turned out today to the first public day at the Ellerslie International Flower Show.
Waiting for the gates to open, hundreds stood in the cold this morning, waiting to catch a glimpse of the award-winning designs at Hagley Park.
Looking forward to what's going to be in there today?
Yes, very much so. I've come down from Napier, so be good.
But I am really excited.
It's cool. I like gardens and stuff and flowers.
Some had come to check out the designs.
The beauty of gardening, the flowers, what you can buy, just the absolute excitement of being here, because I'm so mad keen on flowers. I just love flowers.
Others were there on a field trip.
What's got you here to Ellerslie Flower Show today? School trip.
School trip, yeah.
Trip.
They've got to learn about the event, the organisation of an event, and an international one, and so we're so lucky to have this one to come to it.
But there was one design in particular that was drawing the crowd's attention. Winner of the Supreme Award was the Botanic Gardens Burn After Reading design.
I want it in my garden. I want it at home. It's divine. It's beautiful.
It's fabulous. We love the smoke coming out or the steam coming out. I'm not sure. I haven't looked correctly yet. Their figureheads are just gorgeous, that black against the startling of the green. I love it all.
Compared to many other teams at the show, the winning design worked with a small team to put it all together, which made taking out the show's top prize even more of a surprise.
Really excited. Surprised, to be honest, because there's such a good amount of exhibits here, so yeah, no, really pleased.
Pressure is on the organisers this year to keep a high number of people walking through the gates, but they remain confident with the turnout on the first day.
Obviously it's important for us, the number of visitors we get through the door, but every indication is so far that the numbers should be an increase on last year. I'm pitching for 5,000 but hoping for more.
The show has until the end of the week to gain the numbers needed to make it a viable option to keep in Canterbury. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
And coming up, the younger generation have been a standout at Ellerslie this year.
Al Jazeera News, international news right off the satellite, bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of world events. Al Jazeera News, weekday mornings at 6 o'clock, right here on CTV.
It's hard, like Taiwan.
Freeze, police!
Get down! Brandon! Don't worry, I've got my vest. I'll just slip this on. That's better.
With so many car fans in the region, Canterbury Christian Funeral Services have been asked very often if they had an enthusiast hearse. So, they bought one. The Ford Galaxy is a custom-built hearse for those who want their last journey to be a memorable one. Complete with racing motor and exhausts, the vehicle certainly stands out, and if you want to go out in something that's very different, or you want your loved one to have their last journey very special, contact the team at Canterbury Christian Funeral Services.
Is this your year to upgrade your existing interior? Then head into Bathroom and Flooring Warehouse for the latest styles in European vanities, showers and baths, all at affordable prices. Bathroom and Flooring Warehouse also stock a large selection of carpets and vinyl for all your flooring needs. To view our full range, head into 159 Waterloo Road, Hornby, or visit bathroomandflooring.co.nz.
Avoid the cowboys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring, moving company.
Hi, Tony Todd from Todd's of Ashburton, maintaining the essence of tradition while keeping in style with today. At Todd's, we do our best to meet customer demands and offer quality fashion with friendly service. Our brands are amongst the best. Catering to both men and women, we can have you looking your finest from top to toe. For our full list of brands and products, view our latest up-to-date catalogue at todds.co.nz.
Join us tonight at 6 for DW World News. Informative, lively, international news, breaking stories and global developments. DW News, weekdays at 6 p.m, right here on CTV.
The younger generation have been a standout at Ellerslie this year. Crowds of people were surrounding their exhibits.
The young designers have been a standout this year at the Ellerslie International Flower Show. 7 feature gardens by local schools have already proven to be a crowd favourite on the first day of Ellerslie.
It's really great. They're so proud of them, I think. He is sitting to the wee boy next door in the Samoan garden. He was just, delightful.
Well, I think they're absolutely wonderful, and the children are so knowledgeable about their exhibits as well.
But they're showing off more than their talent to design gardens. Many of the school pupils started working on their designs before the school year even began. The design process began in Term 4 last year.
I think now that we've done it for the first time, they're already talking about next year. And they're already thinking, what are they going to do next? So it is very exciting.
The pupils spent much of the past week prepping the gardens for Judging Day. When the judges passed out their awards, the young designers received a handful of the 15 gold awards handed out yesterday. And the team at Chisnellwood Intermediate School nabbed a top prize, snapping up their own gold award.
Actually, at the start, I didn't think we won gold. I'm like, oh no. And then I found out I did, and I'm like, yes, that's great. Because there was a lot of effort involved.
Well, I wasn't there yesterday, but until I found out the great news, I was happy.
The design has been made from recycled material found in Christchurch. It's a noteworthy design focused around the theme of music. The creativity involved in the school designs has even left the senior designers in awe.
Their designs are fantastic. I think it just really goes to show the imagination of kids. The pencil gates and things like that, it's just incredible.
While the budding designers have worked together as a team on their garden at Ellerslie, this may not be the last the public sees of them.
When the judges went round handing out the medals, on a number of occasions they were saying, right, in 10 years' time we want to see you back here doing your own gardens. They're just so gorgeous, they're having a ball. I was chatting to one of the teachers who said they'd never seen the kids run into school, Ellerslie being school, looking so excited and happy to be here. So yeah, it's great having them here.
The schools will be at the show throughout the week, sharing their design ideas with the public as they wander past. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
If you thought last Saturday was hot, spare a thought for the sheep at the Kaikoura A&P show, out in the sun in their winter woolly fleeces with no shade in sight. Rob Cope-Williams braved the heat to join in the festivities. The sun shone and the crowds came in droves to last Saturday's Kaikoura A&P show, held on the racecourse at South Bay. The show has a family-friendly reputation, and that's reflected in the exhibits and entertainment provided for families and their young children. The mechanical bull was a top attraction for young and old, though it was out of the sun, which may have been the reason for its popularity. As the temperature reached 30 and continued to climb, the heat started having an effect on the animals as well as the humans.
As you can see, he's rearing to go.
He looks more laid back than horizontal, actually.
Wake up, Cody. We'll blame it on the heat. There we go. It's the heat.
Yeah, it is the heat.
It's a show jumper. So he's going to be doing the 6 bar shortly, and he's normally very good at it. So I know I've just jinxed myself completely by
you may well have done, but I do hope not. So the pair of you, I mean, it's obviously a family affair, and you do everything together, which is lovely.
And we have a 7-year-old daughter, and she rides too, but she's a bit sort of would rather come to the shows and eat ice cream.
Yeah, which I think she is disappeared now, somewhere eating ice cream. So
with her iPad.
There's a chance that after an ice cream, anyone young would have headed straight to the sheep rodeo. As the name suggests, young ones took the ride of their lives clinging onto the back of a sheep. It's unclear who was more startled, the sheep or the riders.
You've got to have a helmet and they've got to be under 20 kg to get on the sheep. So anything over 20 kg they can't get on there, it's too heavy for OSH rules.
But not even OSH rules and red tape can stop these children from having the ride of their lives. Thankfully, it was just records that were broken and not any young bones. In their woolly coats, the sheep weren't alone feeling the heat. It wasn't the ideal weather for the pipe band dressed in their woolen kilts.
It's a hell of a hot, and you guys have got a lot of gear on.
Yes, it is, and you're right. We could do without these, but it's part of the uniform, and we try and look good, as well as try and sound good.
And indeed, they did sound great as they led off the grand parade. A spectacular end to a sensational day at the Kaikoura A&P, held in South Bay. Well, I was there with Rob and cameraman Hayden Cook, and we had a fantastic time, but boy, it was hot. Very, very hot. To see more coverage of the Kaikoura A&P show, be watching Rob's Country Showtime next Monday at 8 p.m. here on CTV. Well, there's hope a model of a classic plane could help revive interest in sleepy Diamond Harbour. Marcus Gibbs reports.
It's not often a cafe finds itself with a classic plane outside the back door. A local handyman has built a life-sized model of a Spitfire, and after dragging it to the nearby Chalfont Cafe, it's quickly become a hit with the locals, who are stopping by for a cuppa.
Oh, it's definitely been a bit of attraction for people coming over. Quite surprised to see a Spitfire in the back, overlooking the recreation fields. People are quite chuffed about it.
The builder normally sticks to small models, but he wanted to give this a go.
A local chap, Graham Richards, who has spent many years, I think some of it was built in his living room and various places. And he's gifted it to us. So the boys had the tractor out and towed it up one gravel road and down another road and to put it in place last week.
The Spitfire was built 48 times larger than the model he used as inspiration, weighing half a tonne. It was built using plastic, metal and wood. But it's still not finished. The wings are yet to go on.
There's an old water tank out the back. Today's plan seemed to be to turn that into a sort of aviation-looking fuel tank. And, I think there's a plan for a parachute something somewhere, or just a bit of fun, to be honest.
Diamond Harbour lost Godley House in the earthquakes, and with it the tourists disappeared. Now locals are hoping word will spread and this model will turn into a bit of an icon, attracting more people to the place. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Still to come, our first regional news roundup, traffic update and the weather.
In Focus, captivating, informative, in-depth documentaries. Be informed and learn something new. In Focus, weekdays at 9 a.m.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference More Mobility makes.
Meet me there in Edgware. Bailey's Bar have reopened in their new location on the corner of Edgware Road and Colombo Street. Bring some friends along and enjoy a great range of top brand ales and our fine selection of wines, coupled with good music and a friendly ambience. The perfect place to start your day or evening out. Come and enjoy the great atmosphere at Bailey's Bar.
The Pawn Shop is buying gold now. Got a half-broken necklace? The Pawn Shop will buy it. Old earrings you haven't worn in years? The Pawn Shop will buy them too. The Pawn Shop will buy anything gold. Beautiful, broken, treasure or trash, the Pawn Shop will give you cash on the spot. Come along to the Pawn Shop to view our huge range of new and used jewellery. Everything's as good as gold at the Pawn Shop. 77 Ferry Road and 396 Blenheim Road.
Kickoff is pure Bundesliga soccer, the real thing, featuring all the games, all the goals, every week. Kickoff, Sunday 12 noon, right here on CTV.
Our new weekly regional roundup focuses on the news stories coming from North and South Canterbury.
Ashburton Courier reports that two Ashburton Lions volunteers, Lindsay Holland and Dave Stewart, are keen to appeal to local handymen with the intention of setting up a men's shed. The duo are looking for potential buildings where a dedicated space can be set up where trade-interested men can come together to create and work on projects, learn from others, or just hang out for a chat, as captured the interest of Ashburton-based handymen and tradies. Mooted projects include wood or metalwork, as well as individual initiatives, community-focused jobs, or collaborative shed fundraisers. Nominations are coming in thick and fast for the Rakaia Sports Awards. The event will be held on March 20th in the Rakaia Community Centre and hosted by Sport Rakaia. Olympic gold medal rower Hamish Bond, who hails from nearby Chertsey, is confirmed as the guest speaker. His first introduction to the sport was through Rakaia Lions sponsoring him at a rowing clinic. The tornado that touched down in Amberley on Sunday evening dominates the front pages of the news this week. Two horses, Tricidity and Visual, were headed to the Horse of the Year show next month, but show jumpers Tricidity is unable to attend after being cut and battered by the tornado. There are hopes Visual may recover in time. Elliott's Wholesale Nursery also took a hammering, losing 6 tunnel houses to the tornado. They're battling to get irrigation back on to save their plants after the irrigation system was twisted and battered when the structures took off.
And for more on those stories, check out tomorrow's edition of the Ashburton Courier and also the News, published in Kaikoura, Huranui and Waimakariri districts. If you're driving around the central city, CTV's traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, the Ellerslie Flower Show has started at Hagley Park and large crowds are expected each day. To help you plan your journey, here's some useful tips to minimise delays and congestion. On-street parking will be restricted, but parking is available in Hagley Park North with entry from Harper Ave. Works near the park which may affect your route include Kilmore Street between Manchester and Park Terrace, which has lane closures. Park Terrace is now one-way southbound from Kilmore Street to Armagh Street, and Armagh Street is closed between Manchester and Madras. To minimise delays through these areas, we suggest using the 4 avenues to get to Harper Ave. To see further information about getting to the Ellerslie Flower Show, check the Christchurch Star this week or visit the Transport for Christchurch website. As always, keep watching CTV News first at 5 for further updates.
And finally tonight, let's see if the weather's actually going to get better or worse. Here's your regional weather.
Kia ora everyone, Hamner and Colverdon receiving 24 today, while Kaikoura, Christchurch down to Ashburton receiving 19 degrees. But for now, let's take a look at the weather in other areas for tomorrow. Kaikoura, northeasterlies do appear at first with sunshine, but high cloud increasing later on with northwesterlies developing. Tonight's low is at 13 degrees, while tomorrow's high a much warmer 26 degrees. Hanma, you can expect a low of 14 overnight with a warmer sunny day to look forward to with northwesterly winds freshening and high cloud increasing. Tomorrow's high a lovely 28 degrees. Rangiora Kaipoi, fine and warm for your Thursday as well, with northwesterlies developing during the afternoon. Tonight's low 13 degrees, tomorrow's high at 27 degrees. Christchurch, you can expect a low of 13 degrees overnight with northeasterlies at first in the morning with sunshine, but high cloud increasing with northwesterlies developing later on in the day. Tomorrow's high a warm 26 degrees. Ashburton, a warm Thursday ahead for you with high cloud increasing and northwesterly winds developing. Tonight you can expect a low of 13 with tomorrow's high looking pleasant at 27 degrees. Timaru, fine and sunny for your Thursday with high cloud increasing later in the day. Warm with northwesterly winds. Tonight's low 13 degrees, tomorrow's high a pleasant 27 degrees. Let's take a look in other areas now. Colverdon, it looks like you'll be taking out the high with a very warm 28 degrees expected there. Darfield, Akaroa and Leaston, you aren't too far behind with a nice 26 degrees. Methven will follow with 29 degrees, Greymouth sitting at 20 and Arthur's Pass a moderate 18 degrees. Looking ahead for Canterbury. Mild northwesterlies and high cloud at first on Friday, but periods of rain and colder blusterly southwest winds developing during the afternoon. Any early morning showers clearing and sunny periods increasing on Saturday, with fresh cold southwesterlies easing during the day. Cold on Saturday night with ground frost possible. That's your local weather for this evening. I'll be back again tomorrow with your latest weather update.
And that's CTV News for Wednesday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.